Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. Good evening. It's late. It is super late. We're only going to be on for like an hour. We're going to just talk for a little bit, about an hour, and then we're going to try tomorrow. Now, I know most of you guys saw the videos that I put up of the phone calls that I made to MPD today. I guess it was like an hour or so ago. I was scrolling through and somebody mentioned the weather. And I was like, okay, let me see what they're talking about, because apparently Moscow had a weather problem. Moscow had a weather problem. Of course Moscow had a weather problem. Let me show you guys this real quick, and then I'm going to tell you guys hello. Who freaking thinks to check the weather before you make a damn phone call? This is absolutely stupid. It honestly doesn't really give me much give a shit. I mean, hopefully everything's fine and tomorrow they have electricity, but this is only an excuse for one day, bro. I called and my phone went straight to voicemail on freaking Monday. I sent an email on Monday. They had all day Monday after that and Tuesday to respond, and they didn't. So while sure, they had weather today, cool for them. It's only been reported over the past like 11-ish hours. So they've only got today as an excuse, and that's it. That's all I'm giving them. But apparently, the city of Moscow closed its offices Wednesday, meaning everyone that I was trying to get a hold of today wasn't there. But I really don't even know if I believe that. Because y'all heard when I went to call the city clerk and how all of a sudden what was taking my message changed. It went from her voice to like the automated one. So that's kind of sketchy. I don't know. But of course, no one thinks to check this crap. Now, I was looking at like just what it has to say on Bing for the weather. And it's talking about it's going to get wetter, but it's also like warm weather coming. Like it's a very strange back and forth forecasts coming in that direction. But this is apparently a picture of a tree that fell on campus at the university. And this was posted 4 hours ago. I'm pretty sure my video, my second video today, was longer than 4 hours old. When was that posted? Who thinks to check the freaking weather? That is insane. Last thing I thought was that I was going to call the freaking police department and their weather was going to have knocked their power out. That's just like, go freaking figure. When did I post that? Why doesn't it ever give you a time? I want to know exactly how old it is. 4 hours. Does it not give a timestamp? I don't remember what time I posted it. But that's the second one. And I don't care. I stand by everything I said in those damn videos, because them not getting back to us, this even happening to begin with, I don't even care. I'm over it. I'm over their bullshit. No, it was not even in the same folder. Everything was separated. There's no reason for any of this to be happening. Straight up. So yeah, cool. Like I said, they get today. And I guess depending on when their weather power or whatever, their power comes back, they get that too. But this should have been done, bro. We already were put off because somebody was out on vacation until last Tuesday. Okay, well then y'all had all Tuesday, all Wednesday, all Thursday, all Friday. I talked to them on Friday and it was the same bullshit excuse. Oh, we have city things to do. Oh, it's at the top of the list. Okay, what'd y'all do on Monday? You didn't email me back. What'd you do Tuesday? You know, I'm so tired of it. These are public servants. These are people that take positions in order to serve the public. Just because I'm not in Idaho doesn't mean shit. I'm still a member of the public because I paid for FOIAs. We paid for FOIAs. They should be paying attention and being more professional with this crap. Yeah, for sure. Hello, Lady Di and Jamie. Yeah, we're the first ones in here. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, they better. Like, this is stupid. And I know that, like, there's a day period. I think it's 35 days. Hold on. I read all this shit the other day. And it said something about, like, 35 days if you're out of state. But I don't know. Let me see. I don't know, like after the 35 days or like after they actually like give it to you, if there's an issue, like is there something that gives you that? Like if they send you your information, like if they send it to you and it's got half the shit missing and they're like messing around and not getting to you, is there something for that? I just pulled it up. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at real quick and then we'll get back. I'll just go back and forth telling hi to you guys. My face looks like I'm paper because my screen is bright and my dad put crazy light bulbs in here and I'm already pale as shit. So I'm probably like translucent at this point. Let's see. I think it's like 10 days if you live inside the state. And that's for like the first 2 hours and 100 pages are no charge or whatever. That's for like if you live inside Idaho. There was a portion actually in here. And you know what's crazy too? Somebody who obviously doesn't pay attention to anything came in here and left a comment about how maybe if y'all quit talking shit about the locals, somebody would help. Well, for one, I don't think we ever said a damn thing about the people of this town. Okay. Everybody that we have issues with are with the university and the cops. And as a matter of fact, I've had people come in here and say they appreciate the fact that we don't dog the entire town and that we put our target where the target belongs. So I don't know what people come in here talking all that mess for. Like, if you're going to run your mouth right, please. Thank you. I want to say it's 35 days. Maybe not. Residents. I want to see. Okay. A public agency or public official may charge additional fees uniform to all persons who are not residents for requests involving duplication of a computer. Yeah, that's like that $30 fee that we pay. Okay, a public agency or public official may establish separate copying fees, fee schedules for requests submitted by residents and requests submitted by persons who are not residents. The fee for residents may not exceed the actual cost to the agency of copying the record if another fee is not otherwise provided by law. This is just for the residents. Fees for requests made by residents. I don't know. I'm going to have to get something more specific because they got it to us. Like there was a response. They got it to us timely as far as I can tell. The problem is the missing stuff. And I don't know if there's like a standard for that. I don't know if there's a deadline that they have to meet when they are failing to do everything all at once. Would it fall under it not being responded to? Because it's not have freaking hiccups. Would it fall under it not being even responded to because it's incomplete? What date did we get this shit in? Hold on. The phone call I had with them where they found the damn file was on November the 4th. A month later. Our final cost letter came in to us on December the 4th, literally a month later. So at this point, it's been 13 days. Okay, so the 4th was on a Thursday. They were made aware of everything that was missing by Friday because we went through stuff and I instantly noticed that the 12:55 to the 2:25 was missing. And then as I put the screenshots up, you guys actually noticed that the 10 to 11 a.m. was missing because I was so freaking pissed about the other portion that I didn't even realize it. You guys saw it when I showed you, I think it was the Zen2 screenshot that shows the dates. Or however they put it in there in the email, but it was like the dates that they gave me. And y'all were like, hey, the 10 to 11 is missing too. And the reason why it's such a big deal, again, I feel like a freaking broken record, but I know there's people watching that don't really know all of it. So I always try to repeat everything. But the big deal is that 10 to 11 was given to us after, and it's got the most redactions. There's like full like minutes and minutes and minutes. None of the other ones are like that. None of the other ones are redacted like that. And they're holding this one for how long now? Okay, so by Friday the 5th, they knew everything. So we'll give them the one business day. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all last week. But what was the excuse for last week? Some bullshit about somebody being out until Tuesday. So then they only really had, which I say only really had based on what they're telling me, but in all reality, all of the business days count regardless of what their damn excuses are. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 15, 16, and today. That's 8 days. For an hour and a half footage, you're telling me that y'all couldn't have finished that up real quick, especially since y'all have already charged us? If they think they're getting another penny, again, it's not happening. This is their mistake. Just because they didn't do it and it wasn't somehow reflected in whatever they gave us, even though the timing was, that's their problem. That's their freaking problem. They've had long enough. And she even said on the phone, she made it act like, it's just an hour and a half. It's not a big deal. It shouldn't take that long. Well, it's been over a week. So, obviously, it's going to take y'all for freaking ever. It's just so stupid. So dumb. I could never work in offices like this because I'd be like this to my boss because I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I'm not good with this kind of stuff, obviously, because I've been around stupidity my whole life and I'm just not immune to it. You'd think I would be, but I'm just not. It just pisses me off more because this is crazy. And then the weather, what are the odds? Oh my God. What are the freaking odds? Okay. Let me calm down now. It's just so annoying. Ugh. Okay. I'm so glad you mentioned Gypsy Rose. Yes, I was watching all of that nasty, stupid shit that's out there as I was cooking dinner. We're going to talk about Gypsy Rose again here soon. She should have never been let out of prison. Everything about it is so disgusting. She's literally sitting there telling Nick that Dee Dee, her mother, did not even know that she could walk, that she hid it from her until she ran away from Dan, the first guy that she did all the crazy stuff with. That's when Dee Dee found out that Gypsy could walk, that Gypsy's always known, but that she never told her mom, that she tried to tell her but never could. And I'm like, you're literally recording this on camera, that you lied to Dee Dee about being in a wheelchair and being unable to walk. And in that, in turn, after you've ixnayed her from existence, you've got the entire world thinking that she was some sort of huge bully to you that tied you up and kept you in a wheelchair because it was some sort of scam that she was running. And you're literally on video saying, oh, I knew I could walk. I didn't tell her. She didn't know until I ran away. What? There's so much. There's so much. She needs to be in prison. She should have never gotten out. It's so gross. So disgusting. Hey there, Carla. How you doing? Boomer. If y'all hear what sounds like a pig, it is my big dog snorting all over the bed over there. Boomer. He's so strange. He does what we call rooting, where he puts his nose and his hands in his bed and does some weird shit like that. It's real crazy. Hey there, Becca. Hey, Wild Bill. How you doing? Hey, Karmic Retribution. Yeah, it's late. It's late. Hey, Art. So let me also, there's 550 people in here and I'm way in the very top of the chat. I'm just going to ask you guys to go ahead and drop this now. And then I'll just jump down in a few minutes. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe Inan Harsh's story, and put a 2 in the chat if you kind of really don't believe it. I want to know how many people, I want to know people's opinions without having to go over to the poll thing, because I've been listening to a lot of things. Hey there, Carrie. And yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to do a whole video like I do. I'm going to do my thing when it comes to Inan. Clips, proof of everything I have to say and all, but I wanted to just have a little light discussion really quick. Hey there, Dairy Damsel, while we're talking about stuff. Hey, Sandra. Hey there, Phoenix. Yeah, that's crazy. Freaking weather is crazy. Why? That's so crazy. Hey, KJR. Yeah, I saw that now. Hey, Melinda. You know what's crazy too? The first video, I don't think anybody mentioned it in the first video, and the next one was a few hours later. So did the power go out? Was it out all day, or did it just halfway go out? Because it was some hours after my first one that somebody said something. So I was let me check that. Oh, holy shit. I was expecting more people to have said something. Hey there, Gina. Yeah. And so that's another thing, bro. Look, this is like the first thing I was thinking. If they try to say all of a sudden that something happened, they're going to use the storm. Like if they were going to pretend like they lost it, if they were going to pretend like something bad happened, this would be the opportunity for them. So I'm saying that out loud now so that they know that we know about the past and the things that they've done in the past and that we're not going to play these games. So they're trying to use this storm for something crazy. Yeah, especially since I'm telling you right now, she was like, it's only an hour and a half. It really shouldn't take that long. Well, honey, it's been 5 to 10 business days. Can we get this done? Insane. Some people are wondering about that portion. Okay, did I mention this the other day? I might have mentioned this the other day. I've had some people say there's a camera that faces, I did mention this, but it was an Outcast's chat one morning. I don't think I said it on the channel. Some people have said that there was a camera behind Matt Moy's house that like faces that backyard area, or that maybe there was possibly something that showed like the backyard area of 1126 and 1122. But I don't know which address that would be. There's a lot of addresses that are listed that we still need to go through and just like see what's been sort of like taken out of evidence and what isn't, because those things could easily show something else and there'd be no reason for them to just like get rid of it, especially since things are obviously actively still happening, right? So whether it be like a Walenta camera that's like all the way across the street that has like a view into that, or like right there, like in that video that we watched the other day, that other channel posted. I just don't see how this freaking 1112 camera is like the best they've got. And even if like it's not, I mean, technically, I guess it could be the best that they do have, but it can't be the only one. Like all the different houses in that area that aren't college houses that are on all those other streets that sort of like look down, or just for people's own protections, there's not other cameras. Even if they're like farther away, it's just wild to me. It really is insane. But I know the footprints right there are really questionable. And we mentioned the footprints before. I know some people were talking about those in the comments the other day. I think maybe it was yesterday. I have an issue with the footprints outside because in one of the reports, I think the initial report, the officer says that they're going like north, like through the parking area. But then the other officers are all saying that it's going the other way, like through like the 2 yards, the way that like we see them trying not to like step on them. So I don't know what's what. All the way in California too. Damn. That's crazy. Well, I hope everyone is safe, but it's still just annoying because this has already been something that's been going on for such a long time. Ew, I hope you feel better. I don't know. That's crazy. Well, thank you. I just want them to get their shit together. It is convenient. So annoying. Yeah, I saw that big one on the U of I campus. That's a big ass tree. Big ass tree. I know. Well, I want other stuff. Like there's other stuff that we want too. So if they're going to try to like be nice about any of it, then like give me some credits, because there's plenty of other things that we want. But they're just going to, I mean, look, the way that they just handle the sheath information, guys, like I'm so freaking like sick to my stomach. I'm not even kidding you. I am sick to my stomach thinking about what they're going to do with this footage because of how important it is after what they did with the sheath information. We paid $200 for 3 photos and 2 short little 3-sentence emails. $200. What? 685 emails taken away from us, and we were only given 2. We paid all of that money for them to keep everything they looked at on our dime hidden. You can't not think about that and then wonder, especially after the 10 to 11 a.m., what's going to happen here. Yeah. one, y'all, the first one, I could just talk and talk and talk. For that one, I was like, oh, the audacity. Hung up on me. I haven't been hung up on in so long. Crazy shit. I did see that. They said like 600 something thousand people without power. It's super wild. Super wild. See, and that's the other thing. Like, I didn't see nothing. And as much stuff, like, I don't even follow like the city of Moscow on YouTube for like their city council meetings and shit like that. But because we are constantly talking about Moscow, that shit shows up on my feed. So if that's going to show up on my feed and I'm not subscribed to that ish, you'd think the weather would. No. And you'd also think there would be some sort of automated message, right? For whenever the town is like out of power and like no one can be there. Yeah. I mean, emails too. Monday I called and it went straight to voicemail. I'm surprised Amber's phone even rang. It went straight to voicemail on Monday and I never got a response back to my email. Like, if you're going to be sitting here acting like we're over exaggerating, no. How is this an over exaggeration whenever this is what's happening? There has to be, especially considering this one's incomplete. Like, I really want to know, like, what's the options there? I really do. I know, that's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm waiting on. Tomorrow's the 18th, so they have the 18th and the 19th. That's 2 days. They were already in all kinds of bullshit when it came to Thanksgiving break. Christmas is the one that people really for real take off work for. So it really wouldn't surprise me if they had nothing but the lowest level of staff there for the entire week next week. Seriously. Because that's basically how, like, my job does. Anyone who's, like, management and up, like, team lead and up, basically, the salary people, really, they get to, like, take off, like, the whole week. And people that are, like, under that, the analyzers, the coders, all the other people, they have to stay and work the whole week. We only get the day of. It used to be a little bit early on Eve, but now it's not because we're all remote. So you work the full day. You're only off on Christmas, and then you have to go right back to work the next day. Same thing for Thanksgiving. All the holidays. It's how it's always been. Everyone else gets the full week. That's how these offices are. Plus, they're also like city employees. So they probably honestly will like shut down hella early, like on the 23rd period, and be gone until the next Monday. Because they're not going to make them go back on that Friday. I'm old enough to know how this shit works. They're going to have a big old vacation. With the Christmas bonus from everybody's money that we just gave them. Isn't that freaking crazy? Isn't that freaking crazy? I saw your comment. I was like, dang. Is it illegal to do that? I try not to break the law, you guys. I really try to not break the law. So if it's illegal to impersonate an attorney, I won't do that. But, you know, if it's all for funsies, then maybe. I'll definitely call from my son's phone. I have like 4 different numbers I can call them from. And I'm not calling them from my real number. I'm calling them from like a Google Voice number that I use, that I've used forever, for years now. It's not my real number. Yeah, there is, but I just like, it's all different. And I don't know, since they've already sent me something, like if there's some sort of other rule, you know what I mean? That's what I'm telling you. I don't know what they're going to do. Exactly. Especially since, look, again, let's not forget. The university blamed Payne's inabilities as a lead investigator for the reason why they felt the need to be so involved, but then turned around and hired him. Right when the judge was telling both sides to come up with a lie about the IGG so that the FBI was taken off the table, Brett Payne stopped working in May of this year, and started working for the University of Idaho in a non-law enforcement position. So the same people that felt that he was inadequate suddenly felt like he was good enough to fill a position. Okay, come on. Come on, Neil. I know I look younger than I am, but I'm not stupid, and I wasn't born yesterday. Not happening. His parents will probably like that, or maybe not. I don't really know. His parents really seem like they are really not wanting anybody's attention. I try to like stay away from anything about that kind of stuff because they're quiet on their own. I wish they would come out and make a statement. I know there's a few people, very few people that claim to know and talk to them that say certain things. I don't know. I wish that they would say something, even if it is just to like, I mean, I don't know what they would say. If they really truly believe that what we are doing is true, right? Like if they fully believe that what's happening here is bullshit the way that we do, I really wish they would come out and make a statement. And again, I know that we've got like a thing in the book. And I know that we've had people, again, I think like Willie, who says that he had Kohberger's mom as like a substitute and kind of like knew Bryan through school, just like knew like who he was and stuff like that. He apparently is hearing from somebody at CVS. And again, this is like, I can't validate any of this stuff. I just know that this is something that has been going around for like a while. The connections that Willie seems to have seem pretty legit. I know a lot of people have dug into him. If anybody has anything to prove otherwise, no one has shown it to me. So all I can say is that the dad, when he goes to CVS to pick up medications for things, seems to have the same sentiment that, you know, something's not right. But I really wish that they would come out and like tell the public that. I really wish they would. Or at least maybe if we could see some of the communications, because if his mother is constantly contacting him and talking to him and she really feels that he's innocent, then that says a lot. But if it's some sort of like weird mother relationship that they're trying to push out, but they're hiding everything and they don't want us to know the truth, why not let us know the truth? If he's like admitting things to them, or if there's some sort of like weird thing going on there, let us know. They're not doing that. They're not doing any of it, which is the craziest thing. But I sure don't see a book. I sure don't see anything coming out from the sister like we were told was going to happen either. And you'd think that after a plea agreement, that would be her time to shine if that was going to be the case. And that was a rumor for how long? Everyone on that side is silent. And that is just really weird. It's not just the parents. It's not just anyone who knows Bryan. It's literally everyone who even worked on that side of things. And there's no gag order. There's no appeal being filed. There's nothing happening in the courtroom besides documents being unsealed, and the state has had no issue coming out and doing interviews. Everyone else has had no issue coming out and speaking. Why not just make a statement? Like, damn, if you really are just like a defense attorney who is out here doing your job, make a statement. Oh, hold on a second. I don't know. I just wish somebody would say something. Yeah, I mean, people came out and talked that knew the victims, but like nobody really. Everyone that these like reports were like written for, or like people that filed these reports, anyone who's coming out here and saying anything, they're doing it under false names. They're doing it with their faces behind, like to the like away from the camera and like wearing a wig. They're not coming out here like in their true like actual selves to tell the story. They're coming out with a facade. And that's a problem for me, because if you really are honest and true in your story, then why aren't you coming out and saying it with your own face, your own name, your own voice? Why is it being hidden behind something? It's just all very strange. It's just all very strange. Like, I know that there's like what, 2 people, I think. Casey for sure is one of the people from his childhood that came out. I've listened to everything she has to say. She seems really honest in what she had to say. But then the other guy that came out that knew him from school even admits and had to correct Ashley Banfield and say, let me like correct the record. We were not in any classes besides biology. So he's out here making statements about the way that Kohberger acted in criminal justice classes, about like the serial killer classes or stuff that they did together, but they never did any of it together. They were only in a freaking biology class together. They never took any criminal justice together. So then why are you out here running your mouth? You weren't even in the classes with him. How do you know what he was thinking? How do you know what he was doing? How do you know what his answers were to anything? How do you know? You don't, because you weren't there. So why are you out here talking? Didn't that dude still have a podcast? Like, you're a fraud, bro. Like, you're a fake. And you know that you're a fake, and you still come out here and you say all these crazy things, even though you openly admitted on the news you were never in any of those classes with him, that you literally were only in a science-y class with him. I think Casey's probably the only person that's come out here and been like legit from like back in his like early days that truly knew him, that we see photos of them together. I feel like Casey's probably like the most honest. I haven't personally found anything in what she has said or how she's acted with things. I haven't found it to be like flaky or fake. I feel like she's been pretty honest. Yeah. They did say $20K for the whole case file. I think I did a video on that because somebody posted it on Twitter. I asked if that price was legitimate, and the answer I got was basically yes. So I did my own FOIA for it and got that exact response in a FOIA letter, $20K. The thing is that somebody else requested cameras. I think it was like street cams. I can't remember exactly the way that Michael's request went, but we talked about that on here too. And for these like hard drives of these, like, I'm going to say again, I think they're traffic cameras. It's like $154,000. He had the letter on Twitter. I showed it on the live when we talked about it. $154,000. That's more than my house. That's more than my house. You're crazy. Yeah, that's where he's at. The sheath, bro. It makes me sick. All of it. All of it. See, the scream is why I have questions about, oh, Harshy boy. And this means Inan, not reality. I have a lot of questions. Like I said, I'm going to do a full-on video about Inan with like the clips of the interviews and stuff that he did, because I've gone back in and I've listened to so many, and listen to so many people that I just don't like. Hidden True Crime was one of the first ones that did an interview with him, I think, on YouTube. And so I had to listen to her. Frank, who I despise because he's a little beta bitch. Sorry, not sorry about it. He's from some other country and he hates me for some reason. I don't even know, other than the fact that like I just don't think that he's serious whatsoever. And plus I know like some other things that this dude has done where if he was in the United States, he'd be in prison. And I had to listen to that fool. And he's such a horrible freaking interviewer. But Willie was on his panel too, so that was kind of interesting because I really love listening to Willie interrupt Frank every single time Frank tried to talk. Frank's such an idiot. But I listened to that one and took a bunch of notes. And then Truth and Transparency has had him on several times. I kind of wish, like, I don't talk to Lana. Y'all already know I don't talk to Lana. But I really wish I knew her stance on Inan. Like, how she really felt about him, honestly. Because I don't know. It's really hard to read. It's really hard to read. And I don't know if, I don't know if she still talks to him. I have no idea. All I know is that she did some really, really in-depth interviews with him. One from before he was subpoenaed, and then there's like conversations that they had afterwards. Because remember, she's the one who came out with like his body cam of him getting pulled over and asking the cop if she wanted to go home and like play with his cat or some shit. This dude is such a crazy little weirdo. Okay, such a crazy little weirdo. And I don't really believe him, guys. I don't really believe him. He said some weird shit, and the timing of things just doesn't really add up. So. Okay, so he says he was subpoenaed, and then he said he didn't even know that the subpoena had been like canceled, and he like showed up at the courthouse anyway, and that he knew that it wasn't the grand jury that he was subpoenaed for, but that doesn't make sense either because the preliminary shit was supposed to happen in like October of 2023, right? The grand jury happened in May of 2023. And he said that he wasn't being subpoenaed for the grand jury and that it was Ann Taylor that subpoenaed him. So then he said he showed up to court like all dressed in all these like fancy clothes and like nothing was there. It was all shut down. It like nothing happened. And I'm just like, I don't think you're being honest, because what courtroom did you go to when things were canceled if the preliminary that you said you were being subpoenaed for was 5 months later? Because like he does the interview where he tells Truth and Transparency like all about it in July and says that he was subpoenaed 2 months before that, which was in May, but that it wasn't for the grand jury. Well, then what did you show up to court for and nobody was there and you had clothes on and now you have a whole story about how you didn't show up to court? Where'd you go? If it what? Like it didn't make any sense because what court hearing did you go to? What were you supposed to be witnessing and testifying to if it was the preliminary? You're telling us in July before the preliminary that you went to a canceled court date because you didn't know it was canceled? That don't make sense, broski. That don't make no sense. So then he is like describing the vehicle, right? The black SUV. And at first, I think that Truth and Transparency was under the impression at first that this was like the black SUV or the really beefy, bassy sounding vehicle truck that we hear on Linda Lane. And at first, for a long time, I thought so too. But then I started listening to what he was saying and the way that he's describing it. And like when she pulls up the map and he's like, yeah, right there. It's like at the corner, right where 1112 is going to view. Now, this is before we ever had even like the first leak of 1112, I think. Was it? Was this before we had? This was probably around the same time of the Brett Norton stuff. And the Brett Norton stuff, it all comes all together because that's when Linda Lane leaked. And that's whenever Steve Goncalves apparently sent Brett Norton a screenshot of 1112 to prove that they had access to 1112 and just like tried to dispute the sounds on Linda Lane. It was that time frame. It was that time frame. So when Lana says to him something about how, oh, well, the 1112 camera will show that, his reaction is like, oh. And I'm like, that's a weird reaction, bro. That's a weird reaction. I don't know. So then I'm listening to like the time frame because of the scream, right? Because the scream that we hear is at 2:27. Well, he claims that he would have been like he would have went to sleep somewhere between 2:30 and 4 because of like what he was doing. But he pulls in at like 1:26. So he definitely would have been awake for the 2:27 scream. I'm just trying to figure out how he heard it, but then wanted to like take back what he said. And his like reasoning for editing that comment that he posted on social media where he took the whole scream out of it doesn't make any logical sense. And we've yet to see a report. And that's another thing, guys. He never signed a statement. Remember how WSU Kim said that her kid never signed a statement for the whole story that she told? Well, Inan literally says in the interviews that are still very much posted because I listened to them yesterday, he never signed a statement. And apparently when the cop originally came and like knocked on his door, he told him he didn't hear anything. It wasn't until like way later that some cops were like hanging out in the parking lot that he walked up to them randomly and was telling them about what he heard in the SUV. So he never even like officially did anything. And I don't trust him anymore, especially like when he was talking to Hidden True Crime, she's asking him about all of this stuff and he's like, oh, that's off the record. And I'm like, bro, what? I should see a report. He never answers her about if he went in to speak to them, if they came to talk to him. None of that stuff. He's dancing around all of it. Is Inan fake? Like, is Inan Harsh's story fake? Did he insert himself for attention? I mean, I'm not saying that like maybe he didn't hear something because his time frame for hearing the scream is the damn 2:27 scream that we hear. But did he not talk to the cops? Did he really not go to freaking court? Did he really not get subpoenaed? Because he had the pants, but he didn't have the paperwork. So I'm putting in a FOIA for the subpoena that was sent to him in May of 2023 by the Latah County Sheriff's Office because he claims that he came back to a note on the door and he had to go pick it up. Well, there'll be something in the court order about him being summoned. So I'm going to find out if he was actually subpoenaed or not because I haven't seen any proof of that. And in the interviews that I listened to, Lana's asked him a couple different times. He never produces it. He never produces it. He's very strange. That's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, maybe because she had no problem lying too. At the end of the day, her story is just as pathetic. Her story is that she met some rando on Reddit, had one phone call with them, and wholeheartedly believed everything that they had to say. And so she started just spreading the story everywhere, and then everything with Brett Norton and blah, 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 blah. That's what her original story was. So not even like a friend that she's trying to protect or anybody that she's close to, some rando on freaking Reddit that she never even verified. Okay. It's just a lot. And on top of that, when it comes to the way that Inan's talking, he's like, oh, the DNA. They got so much on this guy. I don't even think that the scream is going to matter. That's why I said I really wish I knew what her stance was on him, because she did that interview with him in March of 2023. And then there was like a clip that she put out soon after that about like he thinks a scream in the middle of the night to determine a timeline is not important. And she puts like text over it. So obviously she was having questions about if he was being sincere and what his freaking motive was for all this, or she wouldn't have put that clip out. And it's still there. I just watched it. But then she interviews him again, and she's just like buddy with him. I don't know if it's like a tactic to try to see if he'll like be comfortable enough to like say something to her or not. Maybe. But I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I haven't really like thought too much about it like in a super long time, but now going back in because of this scream and me trying to validate everything that has to do with this freaking scream, here comes Inan's story. Here comes Inan's story. I just don't know. I just don't know. So yeah, I am going to put in a request. I had the thing up earlier, but then everything with Moscow happened and the page was just up. I'm going to put in a request with Latell County for him getting subpoenaed. And if it's there, then cool, I can be wrong. That's totally fine. But when you say on video that you did not sign a statement, that you didn't sign a sworn statement, that you didn't make a statement, you didn't sign a statement, you won't answer if you went in or if they came to you, you're not showing us your paperwork, you're just claiming you got a subpoena, you're not making any sense for what you showed up for in a full-on outfit, and the damn thing was canceled whenever the preliminary was months and months after the interview where you say this. I'm sorry. I don't know. Was he actually supposed to be like a grand jury witness for something? I don't know because he never showed anything. So we have no answers other than I don't really think you're being honest, broski. So I'm going to do what I do. Like I said, I'm going to put my questions in a video. I'm going to put the clips of the interviews where he says the sus stuff that I already have. So if someone tries to go and get rid of them now, I already got everything I need. It's literally what I do first is the research. Everything else comes afterwards. That's why I can go like this on a camera and a live without having anything in front of me, because I do all my research first. That's how that works. So I'm going to do all that. And then I'm going to see if I get a response. No, it's not that I want to get it. I don't want to get into him. It's just I don't trust this person. And once I feel like you are a liar, I'm going to go until I can figure out whether I believe I'm wrong or not. And so far, like, I don't trust you, bro. I don't trust you. It's just like when it comes to everything that we were told from WSU Kim. Wasn't there something about a washing machine in her story too? Lo and behold, what do we hear from Dylan about a weekend prior? Something about a washing machine. I think Kim was just getting a bunch of stuff from a bunch of people and just coming out here and just talking. Some people that have grown kids that are no longer in the house are lonely and they do stuff like that. And yeah, cool. She was in a documentary, but where's the report? Not signed, not done. No proof. No proof. That's the problem. We're over 3 years in now. We can't keep like falling into things where there's no proof. It's either you show some receipts or you just shut up. I mean, there's really no other way around it. Show receipts or shut up. I just don't think Inan's being honest. I don't know why you're yelling about Doc Thrifty. I didn't even say that name. I honestly don't even know who the frick that is. I see people, and I have seen people talking about Doc Thrifty for like years now. I don't know who that is. I would probably recognize the profile picture, but off the bat, I'm not really good with names. Yeah, he did live at he lived at the Queen Road Apartments. Inan. Because they like pull up the Linda Lane footage and you can see his car pulling in at 126, or what he claims is his car at 126. And he drives a Ion. I have a shit ton of notes, broskies. I really do have so many freaking notes. Let's see. And see, that's another thing. He can't even like get the plate description. He's like, it's deserty, maybe mountainy. Like, dude, I don't even think you know. And another thing that like was really a heads up that he's full of shit. The very first vehicle that Lana throws up on the screen, he's like, oh my God, damn, that's it, bro. Like, oh my God, that was such a horribly fake ass response. Like the very first one she pops up on the screen, that's the car. Bro, come on. Miss me. I'm not doing this with you. All right, let me see. Yeah, 126 on Linda Lane. His headlights come in, and that's apparently his vehicle. And him coming in there. Okay, so yeah, this is what I wrote down about this shit. Okay, so he in March on 3/10/23, Inan has not been contacted by anyone. According to what he says to Lana, he has not been contacted by anyone, but he went on and on and on about all the DNA they apparently had on Bryan. And Lana's like, what are you talking about? Like, there's really like nothing that you're talking about. So it was really crazy, the narrative that he kept trying to like throw out there and how much he kept trying to just be like, oh, they got so much on this guy. They got so much on this guy. Do they? Do they now? Because they don't. They don't. And your reaction to things are very freaking strange. Okay. So the preliminary for the jury trial was actually set for October 2nd, 2023. Bryan Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial on 8/23/23, which was after the freaking July 14th, 2023 live that he did with Lana, where he was on like, oh my God, I showed up and it was canceled and I didn't know. Here's my pants. This dude's full of shit. This dude's full of shit. I'm over it. This dude's full of shit. And I'm just over it. I'm over it. Some people think so. I mean, that dude looks so much like him. So many people think it is. I don't know. It's very possible. I don't trust this fool. I don't trust that fool. Paid ferns. I like that. Paid ferns. You damn fern. For real. I mean, at this point, I don't have a choice. You've given me too many questions, broski. I've got to get to it. I've got to get to it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's he also like says all that stuff in the lives. He admits to all that stuff. I heard all that. I just don't believe him anymore, bro. I think he just really wanted attention. He got it. I mean, I don't disagree, Just Amber. No, it was H too. I could have sworn that it was something about was it H? It was something that he had on him that was enough to give him charges for intent to distribute, is what I remember he said. That's another thing. Yeah, data analytics. Did he start though? So he's currently there. He said he went to school in Pullman before he became a chef. What do you mean she homeschooled him? He said that he went to school in Pullman. That he'd been a chef for 6 years, but went to school in Pullman. I knew that he said in that live that he was going to be going to WSU for data analytics. I just wasn't sure if he actually had started yet. Because he was in California for a while. I just don't believe him anymore. Really? Has anybody ever checked on that? What if... Ooh. Which way you got to drive to get to Enon's apartment? Because he would have been home. when Molly was there. Right, but he said, right, I get what you're saying, but I wrote down in my notes that he said that he had been that he was a chef for the past 6 years and that he went to school in Pullman. So I just thought that meant homeschool. Is there a cooking school in Pullman? Maybe he did that to become a chef. No, that's one of them we still have to go through. We're going to start that soon. We're going to start that soon. Inan had like attacked his mother? No, I don't watch JLR. That's what I consider real brain rot. F what them kids are talking about. That's for real right there. I do. Oh my God, the tape, the video, the what you doodler tape that apparently some like real reporter threw in a dumpster or some shit. Oh yes, I totally remember. Oh, it is true. Well, I'm still gonna be asking my questions. That clip's up there for a reason. The spiral goes with me everywhere. I'm not scared. And I can probably cook better. You know, Texan Cajun here. We use butter, grease, and bacon. All right. I know I cook better. It's fine. It's totally fine. Oh, a Thai restaurant. Mm-hmm. Go figure. That's interesting. Interesting. Oh my God. That's interesting. That shows violence towards women. That's crazy. It was the university implement, and then he dropped out, and then he was going to be going back for data analytics. Yeah, the fact that he is like, he's got bushy ass eyebrows. He admits to going over there and giving Kaylee wine, which, by the way, if that story's true, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say it. Kaylee was not very safe. Why would you sit there and take a open bottle of wine from an absolute stranger and then drink it? It could have had all kinds of shit in it. She could have passed that around to everybody at that damn party, and it could have had some really crazy shit in there. Why would you take an open bottle of wine from a complete creepy ass looking freaking stranger who's just walking over to you because you're some pretty girl and he wants your attention? Oh my God, that was not safe. If that story is true, that is totally not safe. Totally not safe. Yeah. We don't know that. We don't know that. They're not allowed to tell us that. You're making that up. We don't know that. Yeah, we don't know that. You're making shit up because you don't want to believe that they'd be crazy enough to do it. But if they were already tipsy, why wouldn't they? Yeah, and he said that he saw a car back there, an Elantra up on the hill. I'm like, it's funny how now it's an Elantra, whenever you were talking about a black SUV. But I'm telling you, the way that he's describing it, if he's legitimate, unless there's going to be an SUV in the camera footage that we get, which we should get it, that shows him coming in, because Linda Lane shows his headlights at 126, meaning at like 125, 124 and some change, he should be pulling in on that 1112 camera. We should see it. So when Inan Harsh pulls in to 1112, like to the 1112 camera view, we should see a big ballin', drug dealing freaking black SUV on some rims with some tinted windows sitting right there on the corner. Because he literally describes it where the dumpster is in the 1112 camera. But there's no way that he could have seen like the back end of the SUV that's parked behind the dumpster at the angle that it's parked with the way that you have to come into that neighborhood. So the only thing I can think of is there's another vehicle, or he's full of shit. There's either a vehicle that leaves that we haven't seen yet, or he's full of shit. And I'm telling you now, the way that he acted, his face, his reaction when Lana said something about, oh, the 112 footage should show that. Oh, he wasn't expecting for there to be proof of that. And I found it funny too that in Linda Lane, he was like, I don't know how you guys can make anything up on there. But then as soon as his headlights show up, he's like, oh yeah, no, that's me, bro. Like, what? I can't deal. I cannot deal. Doc isn't Doc. What does that mean? What does Doc not Doc mean? What are y'all talking about? I mean, he wants to be a guy, that's for sure. I just don't trust him, bro. I don't trust him no more. I don't trust him. I don't. Who does that? You know who else did that crazy shit? The psychopath David Barriocha, when he got fired for his crazy ass remarks about Charlie Kirk, went on Reddit and did an AMA. That must be an incel thing. That must be an incel thing. It has to be. Oh my God. Did he really? But he was supposed to be at work. I'll have to find that. I haven't seen that anywhere yet. And I've listened to a lot of his freaking interviews over the past 36 hours. Oh, so I'm guessing Doc Thrifty did a bunch of videos on Inan. I want to find my own information, though. I know other people do like a lot of like really good work, but I have to go and find my own sources. American Music Awards. No, ask me anything. That's the only thing. It's a dude. And all he did was videos on Inan Harsh. Did he think that he was a suspect? Oh, this is cranberry juice. This is just straight cranberry juice. I actually didn't have any of my Celsius drinks today. I only had 1 cup of coffee. Okay, well, I'll watch him. I'm going to have to I double check everything. So I'll go see what he's got to say. There's no vehicle with Hunter Johnson loading totes into it. Those people that are on the video camera live at that other house, and that's not Hunter Johnson. Oh, no, he's disgusting. He's a clown. That's true, too. That's why I'm really questioning the bullshit that Molly's pulling about the double dashes and the Jack in the Box and having a friend sitting up at the Jack in the Box. I don't trust none of your bullshit. I found it creepy how he described that he would have used the sliding. I did hear some crazy shit. You know what? I wonder if he is the weirdo that was watching them from the freaking tree line. He very well could have been. Very well could have been. Oh, Doc's account's wiped. I'm sure people have shit somewhere for it. I'm still going to like look into some stuff because I don't trust this fool. That's what I'm saying. Do we know if Inan knows Molly or if Inan knew maybe the husband that passed away? But see, she also had like another guy pass away in her house. Isn't that what she said in her interview, that it was like somebody died in the bathroom? So that's like 2 people. Is that right? That's some crazy shit. Oh, well, that person I think is blocked here because they come in here acting like an asshole. I think that's the account. I feel like I blocked that account like a long time ago. That name looks familiar. I might be wrong. So the thing did happen with that one guy, and then there was another death. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't believe him. He hasn't shown any proof, and his story, like, I don't know when you jumped in here, Huda, but go back to the stuff that I was saying when you get a chance. I don't believe him. I think he's full of shit. I think he's lying. His story about showing up to court and it was canceled and no one knew anything and it was all within like 2 months. I don't believe him. I think he's lying. Yeah, We Hunt You Fear has been blocked over here for a long time. They used to come over here talking all kinds of shit. Like shit that I should have honestly like reported them for to like the FBI. Must be so serious. Yeah, and the liar at that. She's up to no good. But I just don't trust him. I don't trust him, and I'm going to subpoena any information. Not subpoena. Request any information about him getting subpoenaed back in May of 2023. Because I don't trust him. I just don't. I mean, I feel like it's probably true because he comes out here. Like, if y'all go listen to his past interviews, like after Bryan's arrest, he's just like on and on and on and on about the evidence and about how nothing else matters that anybody else says, or the scream doesn't matter because they just got so much on this guy. And I'm just like, what? Wild. I know, they're all stupid. They're all dumb. Now, something else that I started working on yesterday, and I'm going to do this. I need to do this with both of them. I'm just not going to do a video about it until they're completely done. And then we're just going to do like a really freaking long live. Oh my goodness. Why is this all big like that? Okay. I'm started going in on the PCA and like line by line pretty much, or at least where it needs to be, debunking it as it goes, or like putting clarifications to things so that we can like, I need to start specifically asking questions, because having all these questions and then not trying to get answers to these questions really isn't going to do freaking anything. So I've got to figure out like a way that these other like journalists and people do things to like get a hold of people and ask them very specific questions, because I have very specific questions. I want to know why certain things were not mentioned. I want to know why certain things we were being lied to about. All of it. I want to know why we weren't told that Dylan and Maddie also went to the party. Why were we not told that Dylan actually saw Xana and Ethan at the latest at 10:30, which is way past the time they're giving us for Bethany? Why were we not told so many things? Why did they lie about so many things? Why did they water down so many things? So I'm going to go through both of these, this one and Blaker's, because Blaker's is a little bit different, but pretty much copy and paste, but a little bit different. And then we'll do a video on them. And I guess it's like one by one, I'm going to have to start asking questions, because again, like we can't just keep going out like around in circles, constantly pointing out things that we have issues with and not really trying to move forward with it. So I'm going to have to just start figuring out how to freaking reach people and not know, oh, X person who used to do this. No, I want to talk to you with your freaking signature on some paperwork, because I'm really done with this. So answer some questions. So that's what we're going to do eventually here. It's just too much. It's just too much. No, not AMA fighting. It's Ask Me Anything. Yeah, that was in August of 2021, and it was a short Hispanic guy. Yeah, and see, that's the crazy part, though, because if she would have actually subpoenaed him, which is another reason why I don't believe that he did, not only is he like lying about the court date and all these other things, but if he didn't sign a statement, the only way that she would even know his story is if someone else like sent her like a news clip, or they were watching news clips, because he was coming out and claiming that he's heard a scream, that he saw this black SUV. It would have been based off of her hearing him speak through the public and nothing that came through from Discovery, because he never signed a statement and he told the original police officer that he didn't hear nothing. Is how I'm understanding it. So I guess she would have like, had to have like played the news clip in the courtroom I guess, with him on the stand, I guess. I don't know how that would have worked. Because if there's no signed statement, it wouldn't have come from Discovery. It would have had to have been from the news. It's just a lot. Every little thing. That's the problem. It's everything. It's not just one piece. It's all of it. It's all of it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I will put something together tomorrow about something. Because we're still going through and getting all of the timestamps for cars coming in and out. I'm trying to cross-reference cars coming in and out. They better have something for us. I mean, I'll be sympathetic for, a little while, I guess. I'm really not a big asshole, guys. Like, I'm telling y'all now, if y'all have been here for a while, then you already know this. But if you're like, don't pay attention, you know that I'm not really like a jackass for just like no reason. I match energy. I am not going to be a shithead to you unless I feel like you're being a shithead to me. I've been really nice to Moscow because I always try to mind my P's and Q's. Okay. I have been in a business where I literally hate everything about what I have to do, but I know how to do it and I know how to do it the right way. And I know how to turn it off whenever I need to. I've always been really good at that. So I'm really nice. Every time me and Amber are on the phone, it's little giggles and, oh yeah, no, have a good day. Ha. It's normal. This harshness just started because I've had enough. I give you leverage to a certain extent, but I've learned through trial and error, a lot of trial and error, wasted on people that did not deserve the grace and the lenience, that you got to stop doing that. So they've had a little bit of time because, again, they gave us this shit on the 4th. They were very aware as of Friday, all of the things that were missing on the 5th, and it is the 17th. It is the 17th. This is stupid. This is dumb. So we will see what they do tomorrow, if they have their electricity back, if the office is back open. I'm not going to bother calling until I check the weather, because obviously that's something I'm going to have to put on my list of protocols before making a call. Make sure they have power. Unbelievable. But I'm going to try to see what's going on with them tomorrow. If not, for sure, Friday. There's no reason for them not to have electricity by Friday. I've lived in hurricane areas for the majority of my life, and it never usually takes that long. I'm just saying, Rita, Katrina, Harvey-ish, like we've dealt with a lot. Never usually takes that long, in my opinion. And this doesn't look that severe. They should have electricity by tomorrow, if not already. We will see. But thank you for you guys coming in here and listening to me rant about random things in this case. We're going to talk more about Inan. We're going to put some more information together. If he's lying, then I honestly don't really care about why. I already know what kind of like mental illness you have. And I don't need an explanation because I honestly am just not going to even give two shits. It's inexcusable. If it turns out that his story is just as fake as Dot's and it's all full of shit, it's inexcusable. And he's wasted so many people's time. But if he heard something and he's lying about talking to the cops and now we're hearing this scream, well then, like, you're an asshole. Because you heard something that a lot of people really had a for real, visceral, guttural, scary-ass emotional reaction to, and you're out here lying about it for attention. That makes you even worse than what I already think you might be. That's a bigger problem for me. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But thank you so much for coming in here and joining me. Y'all have a super great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Try to get some rest. I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.